Okay, YouTube folks, glad that you're able to hang out with me. I can't see the YouTube screen from here, so I don't know who's logged in or how many viewers I have. I'm assuming none, so I'm just really just kind of talking to myself. A couple last minute things to do here. I just powered up everything in the room here just a few minutes ago, so I've got some things that are not working. Haven't even done a radio check yet, so let me see if we're even on the air. Atlanta 946, WQYR 514, radio check. Maybe we're not on the air.
Atlanta 946, Atlanta 60, read you loud and clear. Good signal, good modulation.
Excellent, thank you for that. WQIR 514, Atlanta 946 will be standing by for the net.
FYI, the Noonan repeater will not be online tonight. I'm going to be monitoring the signals from the other repeaters.
Okay, understand the Noonan repeater will not be part of the group. I'll try to keep that in mind. Thank you for that. WQIR 514, Atlanta 946, clear and standing by. All right, YouTube folks. So I think we have one camera. Let me look through here real quick. And we have the screenshot view, and this is the same camera with just a different. Oh, what is this? Do we have? We have the. Oh, that's interesting. So that came back to light. So that's the side view camera right there, as opposed to that one right there. Yeah, that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one. All right. So what else do we have? Okay, so that's that one. That's out of that shouldn't be on that button. So that's weird. Okay, and then here's my favorite shot right here. Yeah, and there's audio with this. So this is apparently the red camera. That it's probably not coming back. I'm pretty sure the red camera is gone forever. We'll see what happens. So back to this is probably where we're going to sit for most of the evening tonight. I'm going to get busy with things. I'm going to forget what I've done, and you're going to get stuck either on this view or on a screenshot view. So, oh man, I hope that's not somebody trying to check in because I'm not going to hear them. And okay, clear my throat here. I'm going to take this thing off for a second. Very nice. Let's see. I hope this is my. Yeah. All right. I may dash out at some point and get a fresh one because, yeah, that one's about 100 years old. And let's see here. Why does this look different? There it is. Okay. Good, good, good. Looks like it's time to go. I should find the script. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the first edition of the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net of 2020. Seems like it's been a year since I've done this. I'll be working off of the Pine Log repeater tonight, but we'll be networked in with Sassafras, Somerville, Lookout Mountain, Crawford, Madison, Ball Ground, McDonough, Columbus, Zello, Zebulon, Jersey, and Moreland. All of those repeaters appear to be linked in, so if anyone is monitoring on any of them, you'll be able to participate in tonight's net. Tonight our RF coverage is in excess of 31,000 square miles. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone who has made North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active GMRS network in the country. Let me break. Net control tonight is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin, and I'm located at Studio B in Woodstock, Georgia. On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to know. This is a family-based network, so we encourage you to get your family involved. We'd love to hear from your kids. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address the other members of the net by their name or tactical unit number. The use of your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and sign out of the net. When signing in, please speak slowly as I am typing impaired, and clearly as you give your tactical unit number, call sign, name, and location. At this time, I'll take youth check-ins. Youth only, please. Anyone 18 and under, please call Net Control now.
Net Control. WBK 811 in Gainesville. That's the net.
WBK 811 in Gainesville. I wonder if that is Charles. Where's my mouse at? Let me see if I can find. Is he? Let's see here. Yeah, WRDK 811 is Charles, Atlanta 130. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and log him. He may be having a hard time hearing. So ATL 130 Charles. Caps lock, I hate that. In Gainesville. Okay, Net Control will acknowledge we didn't hear any youth check-ins, so if any youth tried to check in, you'll have to try again. And you're welcome to check in at any point from this point forward. But we did catch Atlanta 130 Charles in Gainesville. Thank you, Charles, for checking in with us tonight. Had a tough copy on you there, but we got you in the log. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and move on with our check-ins. And at this time, we're looking for Zello check-ins. Anyone wishing to check in through Zello, please call Net Control now.
This is WRDX 954 Atlanta 158 checking in through Zello right around the McDonough.
Leave it a long pause because sometimes Zello takes a little while for the little thing to turn green so you can key it. Okay, at this time, Net Control will acknowledge Atlanta 158. Tony, checking in on Zello down in the McDonough area. We've got a rough copy on you there, Tony. Zello's a little bit choppy on me tonight, but hopefully you can hear us, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Net. Do we have any additional Zello check-ins before I move on? Last call for Zello. Please call now. Okay. All right, so give them just a bit here, and then we're going to pick up the pace. Okay, hearing no Zello check-in requests, I'm going to go ahead and move on to any visiting transient licensed GMRS operators or new members of the North Georgia GMRS network. This is any licensed GMRS operator who is not a member, but who is in the area and would like to check in, or any new members to the group. Please call Net Control now. Do we have any newbies out there? Or visitors? And again, I get crickets. Crickets are okay. All right, so let's see. Next, we're going to move on to... Okay, hearing nothing for newly licensed or visitors or guests, we're going to go ahead and move on to Pine Log check-ins. So anyone wishing to check in to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net from the Pine Log repeater, please call Net Control now.
This is 253 WQNV 274 Waleska, Georgia.
Donald from Waleska. All right. Who else do we have? Anybody?
This is
Sounds like Andrew.
Atlanta 57 WQZC 882, Andrew in Holly Springs.
Okay. 57. Andrew. And Holly Springs. Okay. Who's next? Looks like it's going to be a short net tonight.
This is Atlanta 780 WQUV 439, Houston and Austell.
All right, Houston and Austell. Oh, if I hit this button right here, you guys can see how clumsy I'm typing. Okay, so he was also a Pine Log. Anybody else?
This is Atlanta 948 WRAR 433 Gary in Woodstock.
Gary in Woodstock. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Okay, at this time, Net Control will take a little break and we'll acknowledge our check-in so far. I have Atlanta 258, Donald from Waleska. Thank you, Donald, for checking in with us tonight. It's great to hear from you. I look forward to your comments here in just a little bit. And we have Atlanta 57, Andrew in Holly Springs. Andrew, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's great to hear from you. We have Atlanta 780, Houston in Austell. It's great to have you on tonight, Houston. Looking forward to talking with you here in just a little bit. And we have Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock. I think Gary said he was in and out, but I'm going to call out to him here after a bit anyway, and hopefully he'll have some comments for us. I haven't talked with Gary very much over the last week, so I'm going to find out what's going on with him. Do we have any additional check-ins for the Pine Log Repeater? Pine Log Repeater, please call Net Control now. Whoops.
This is Alabama 672 WRDH 403. My name is Gerlin in Powell, Alabama.
Gerland in Powell. All right. Who else do we have? Anybody else? All right, Net Control is going to acknowledge Alabama 672, Gerland in Powell, Alabama. Thank you, Gerland, for checking in with us tonight. Looking forward to talking with you here in just a little bit. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and shift gears, and we're going to take check-ins from any repeater, including Pine Log, any repeater anywhere. Please call Net Control now.
Net Control. This is WRAT 241 Atlanta 403. Bob in White County. Welcome back.
Anybody else? We got Bob in White County welcoming me back.
This is
McDonough. Is that Tim in Stockbridge?
McDonough 22 WRCR 952, checking in from Stockbridge, Georgia. This is Tim, and Justin, I'm going to have to check in and out tonight. I'll be listening when I can, but I won't probably be able to get back to the radio to talk. So y'all have a good one and a Happy New Year to everyone. Back to you.
All right, Tim, we got you in a log as in and out. Glad you were able to catch up. All right, so who's next? Okay, whoever I am, I guess I'm Net Control. Net Control will acknowledge Atlanta 403, Bob in White County. Thank you for the welcome back, Bob. It's good to be home. And also acknowledging McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Understand you're in and out tonight. and appreciate you listening in. Hopefully you'll have the opportunity to chime in, and feel free if you do. But if you don't, Tim, we've got you in log as in and out, so you're good to go. Appreciate you checking in with us on a regular basis. Do we have any additional check-ins for the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net, the first net of 2020? Please call that control now. Okay, hearing nothing, let's go ahead and get this thing started. We only have 10 check-ins at this point, but it's not uncommon to get some late check-ins as we go, so we'll just see what develops. I think first on our list we have Atlanta 130 Charles in Gainesville. Charles, how are you doing this evening?
Well, we're doing pretty good. That was a rainy, miserable day, but best of it. We had a group meeting here for lunch, and they had kind of spent most of the day, but got back and worked some of the trying to make some arrangements. So it's a little bit easier to manipulate the work. Join the net. Need to get the antenna up a little bit higher would probably help, but anyhow, we look like an antenna farm over here, so I've got it kind of up on a push about 25 feet. I can see about one of these days when the weather breaks and the sun comes up and warms me up, get up there and see if we can raise it about 10 more feet. That should make everything a lot better there for sure, especially in that one direction out there with sassafras. We'll turn back to net control, and we're going to leave at this time. We've got another net coming here on Senator Powers here in about 15 minutes. So, best wishes for everyone. Best and have news here. This is 30. DK 811. We're going to clear it.
All right, Charles. Well, that'll be just fine. I've got you in a log as in and out. I appreciate your comments. And yeah, nothing like a noontime meeting that stretches out all day. And on a rainy day like this, there's probably nothing wrong with that. And I hear what you're saying about the antenna farm. In fact, 947 has informed me that I am not to install any new antennas. So that being the case, I can only install used antennas from this point forward, because I'm under firm instructions that I cannot put up any more new antennas here at Studio B. So that's good to hear, Charles. I'd love to see some photographs of your antenna farm. If you have the opportunity to snap a couple of shots and put them up on Facebook, that would be wonderful. Always enjoy seeing people's setups and people's antennas and wiring and things of that nature. I've got a project myself that I'm looking forward to taking some pictures of when it's pretty enough to take pictures of it and posting on the on Facebook. I've got an F-150 that I purchased. It's an old 2005, and I'm in the process of putting some radios in it. I hope to have that finished up real soon, but I'm not going to work on it in the rain. But thank you for all that, Charles. And yes, I've got you in a log as in and out. So go ahead and tune in to the next net that you're going to participate in. And thank you for taking some time to hang out with us here on the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Next on my list is Atlanta 158 Tony, checking in by way of Zello down in the McDonough area. Are you heading home, Tony, or are you down there doing something tonight?
Hey, good evening, Net Control. Yeah, I'm actually heading home. I'm right down here in the McDonough area, stuck in, beautiful Atlanta traffic. Going home from vacation, visiting the family, going to Disney World for the last couple days, and just heading home for the start of the work week next week. And wanted to say Happy New Year's to everybody that's listening out here on.
Everybody got a good copy on the ball ground repeater from WREM.
Okay, ball ground repeater, stand by one moment while I address Tony's comments here. Atlanta 158, Tony, I understand you're driving home from Orlando, had a couple of days down there, and fighting the traffic to get back through. Man, I expect with the rain tonight, the traffic is particularly tasty. Hate that you have to fight through that. We also spent our day on the road. Traffic was easy for us heading south from Indiana, about a 650-mile drive. We left at 3 a.m. Actually, about 3:30 a.m. is when we departed, and we arrived here at home at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and have been able to enjoy the day and a nap, and looking forward to hanging out with some friends on the radio. So safe travels through that Atlanta traffic, Tony, and uh, glad to hear that you've got another day off before you return to work next week. Me as well. I think that was a brilliant idea. All right then, Atlanta 158. I'm going to go ahead and show you in and out because Zallo can be difficult to check out on sometimes. But if you've got additional comments, don't hesitate to attempt to get in here. Love to hear more from you. And with that, I'm going to address the call that I heard from the ball ground repeater. With that ball ground traffic, go ahead.
This is WRM 702, first time calling in airport off of the ball ground repeater.
Okay, I understand you've had some trouble getting in from ball ground. I didn't catch, I caught your call sign, but didn't catch your name or where you're coming from. And do you have a TAC number?
On the TAC, not new member yet, just got on the frequency for the first time with you guys, and calling from Habersham, so might be on the edge of the ball ground repeater.
Copy that. Can I get your name? And you say you're from Habersham. Can I get your first name?
And I'm a resident of Dawsonville, but working out of the Habersham airport.
Okay. All right, sorry about that delay. Just fat fingers trying to type in some notes here so that I can remember who I'm talking to. I didn't catch your name again this time. I understand you're first time on the net, and we welcome you. Love to have new traffic here on the net, and glad that you were able to find us. You're working in Habersham, but you're from Dawsonville, and glad that you were able to take some time and get on the air with us this evening. How did you find out about North Georgia GMRS Regional Net? Were you just tuning around and found us?
Your publication in the mail inviting me to become a member, and a local person here in the Habersham area told me about the website. And the name is Lester Helm.
Okay. I think I got Lester out of that. Lester Helm, perhaps. That's what I'm going to key. That's what I'm going to key in here, and hopefully that's right. My fat fingers. I keep wanting to release the key instead of hit return. But glad to have you in here. Understand you found out about us through the postcard that I mail out every month to new GMRS licenses in Georgia. Fantastic that you heard about us that way. And glad that you're also, somebody had keyed you into our website and probably our North Georgia GMRS Facebook page. If you haven't checked that out, please do. And hope that you stick around, and we'd love to have you come on as a member. Meanwhile, you're welcome to check in as a guest. And what kind of work are you doing over there in Habersham? All right, Lester. Well, I didn't copy any traffic from you that time, but we'll look forward to hearing you on the net hopefully next week. And if you have an opportunity to chime in later, that'd be great too. And welcome to North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. We're glad to have you on board. Next on my list is Atlanta 258. Donald in Waleska. Donald, how's it going? You getting that grill cleaned up and ready to go for a couple of weekends from now?
Change of plans on the grill. We're going to have barbecue instead of steak.
Well, fantastic. That sounds delicious. I can hardly wait. Barbecue is always a good thing.
We're going to have barbecue, baked beans, coleslaw, and potato salad, and some kind of dessert.
Well, you know, some kind of dessert is my favorite dessert. I don't know if you knew that or not.
If you will tell me what kind you like, I will get whatever you like.
Oh man, fantastic. Well, I'll have to put some thought into that because now that the door's wide open, I'm gonna have to choose wisely. So I'll get back with you on that. But looking forward to hanging out with you and your dad and visiting the mountains and your cabin. That'll be very fun.
Yep, and I will make sure you have regular Mountain Dew up there.
Don't worry about that, Donald. I'm very accustomed to bringing my own beverage, and if you do something crazy like purchase some of that, it's the Diet Mountain Dew that I drink. There's a huge difference in flavor between regular and Diet.
Well, I will make sure to get some Diet Mountain Dew. And if Miss Julie will tell me what she would like, then I will get hers too.
Well, her favorite beverage is water. Usually water out of a bottle or out of a tap, or just as long as it's clean water. She likes water. I don't know what it is about water, but that seems crazy to me. You know, after having 4 kids, I don't drink the water anymore.
I don't either. I don't drink enough water, but I will make sure to get some water for Miss Julie.
Fantastic. Well, what else is going on, Donald? It's been a year since I've talked to you.
Well, not much. My grandfather's not doing real good.
Well, daggone it. What seems to be his trouble now?
He hadn't really been eating. He hadn't eaten in 5 days.
Oh no. Well, that's not good. All right. Well, does he have some kind of digestion problem, stomach bothering him, or is having some trouble with his intestines somewhere? Has anybody looked at that?
The doctor's been out here to see what's going on.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, we'll keep your grandfather in our prayers, and we'll hope that the doctors can come up with some wisdom to address that, and we get the best outcome. Anything else going on, Donald?
That's all, but I'm looking forward to y'all coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we are too. We're really looking forward to that, and we've got a few other events coming up that we're looking forward to, and it's going to be a busy year. It's going to be a crazy busy year. You know, we've already got a bunch of stuff on the calendar, and it's weekend after weekend after weekend, and it's good because I'd rather do that than sit around watching TV. Um, but sometimes it's pretty tiring too to keep up that crazy schedule. So we're gonna have to start saying no to some things, but we're not gonna say no to you. We're looking forward to hanging out with you here in a couple of weeks. All right, Donald. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Atlanta 5-7. Andrew in Holly Springs. Andrew, how's the new year treating you so far?
Good evening, Justin and everyone on the net. Well, we're 2 days in. It's doing pretty good. So it's an improvement over last year, I'll say that. So first couple minutes of 2019 were not as nice to us, but hey, this year looking a little bit better. So hey, it's an automatic win in my book. So we had a good one, had a number of people over, and kind of had a little mini low-key party, I guess you could say, and everyone had fun, and hey, that's what matters. And we rang the new year in with family and some good friends. So can't say I could do any better than that.
Understand had a rough start to 2019, and yeah, I think we're all ready to put 2019 behind us. Nothing in particular, just everything in general, and I'm excited about paving the way on this brand new 2020, and I'm looking forward to what it has to offer. Um, we also tried to ring in the new year, but we made it till probably about 9 o'clock. We're just so busy with family stuff and gatherings and visiting with people and food and food and food that we didn't have a chance. There just was no chance we were going to make it to midnight. But we woke up the next morning to a new year anyway, and that was pretty cool. So I had a great visit up there in Indiana, and we tried to do the New Year's ring in the New Year party here uh, last year, and we even tried to do some radio network stuff with that New Year event, and it didn't work out very well, but we had a good time anyway. But yeah, it's very cool stuff. Hey, Andrew, I'd like to ask you if you could switch over to Sassafras Repeater and tell us a little bit more about your New Year's Eve festivities.
All right, let me switch over real quick. Right, Atlanta 5-7 on Sassafras, WQZC 82. Just with a and a dance light, kind of had it like what we like to call Club 215 for our street. We even made some for that, just having some fun and whatnot. So a whole bunch of music, some dancing and dancing, but some of the adults partaking. Yeah, overall it was good. Again, fairly low. Didn't have as many people over as last year, and success last year. Well, right midnight. Not referring to with didn't bring in the New Year's. Well, this one worked great. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, there's of course pictures to go. Throw it back to.
Well, fantastic, Andrew. Club 215 sounds like a great way to spend New Year's, and I'm sure several other activities as well. That's great. And I did see your Facebook post, and I did poke through some of those pictures. Looks like you guys had a blast, and looking forward to seeing more of that as time comes on. Club 215. That's fantastic. I love it. That's cooler than Studio B. See if he's got any more to say.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and maybe repeat next year.
All right. Well, that's great stuff, and thank you for that little report there, Andrew. And looking forward to hearing of more of your adventures next week on the net. But for now, I'm going to move on to Atlanta 780 Houston in Austell. Houston, thank you so much for taking over for us last week. And man, I was listening to you on Zello, and I thought that I had a big delay going on, and I wasn't quite sure where things were at. And I guess I checked in on top of some of the youth check-ins. Um, Doggone it. But anyway, Zello is challenging to use at times because of the delay and because of not being able to get that button pressed right when you want to. It fights you sometimes for that. So, but thank you for filling in as net control, and appreciate you you ringing out the end of 2019 on the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net.
Hi, anytime, Justin. Good evening to you, and glad y'all made it back safe and able to take care of the net tonight. Hope y'all had a good trip and a good family visit. We visited family, and we more or less stayed at home for New Year's. Didn't even go in or or bring it in. We went to bed early. Didn't even see it come in, but we know it's here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear you. Same way. We didn't make it either, but we heard the fireworks, and so we knew that it had happened, and that was all good stuff. So yeah, we didn't have to be vertical for the moment. It still arrived anyway. But thanks again for covering for us last week and doing a great job at that. And thanks for all that you contribute to the net.
Well, you're welcome. Like I said, anytime. And I hope y'all had a pleasant trip. I hadn't heard too much about it. I know you got back early this afternoon, I think, from the text anyhow.
Yeah, we arrived here in Woodstock about 1 p.m. Yeah, pretty uneventful drive. We had all three of the dogs with us there and back, and we didn't expect to make great time. Um, we anticipated it needing to make several stops to let dogs out to potty and to drink and things of that nature. And I tell you, the dogs travel really, really well, and they didn't really ask for extra stops. I think the stops that we made were stops that we made because I needed to potty and I needed a drink. So, and one time the truck needed a drink, but the dogs, they were just good to go with whatever. I couldn't be happier about how well they traveled on that trip. So, and they behaved very well in my in-laws' home, and they behave very well in my mother's home as well. But she doesn't seem to acknowledge that, so we'll have to have a talk with her and maybe help her understand that these really are good dogs. But yeah, well, Houston, thank you for checking in with us tonight and contributing the part that you do, and we look forward to catching up more on your New Year's uh, activities, and we'll spend some time with you and Mona as soon as we can. Looking forward to putting something together with you, perhaps later in February. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Alabama 672, almost said Atlanta. Gerlin in Powell, Alabama. Gerlin, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, hello, Justin and Annette. This is Alabama 672. I'm doing good, I guess, for an old man. Oh, man, it's getting a lot of rain over here, and I'm sure you guys are too over there. It looks like it's raining all over the world. Seems like as much as it's raining here, but yeah, Houston was sounding good. He was the loudest one on the net that I heard in Alabama now tonight, and so let's see. I was going to ask you. What part of Indiana did you go to? Over.
Yeah, Julie and I are from Northeast Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana area. I grew up out in the county in a little area called Harlan, Indiana. Harlan is such a small town that it doesn't even have a post office, so we use the post office for the next town over, which is Graybill. But I'm not really in town at all. We're out in the county by several miles, and grew up on a horse farm out there. Oh, I guess that's been a bit ago. Um, but that's where we were at, northeastern Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana area.
Okay, good deal. My brother lives in Elkhart. Went up there. Of course, him and his wife both passed several years ago now, and but we used to get to go up and see them once in a while, and we went fishing over in Michigan to, I believe it was St. Joe River or something like that, and caught a big old salmon, and I really had fun there. But anyway, I just wondering about what parts you went to, and I like that area. The people are really nice, and I like the way they talk. They don't talk like we do here in Alabama. Of course, you know that, but I enjoy listening to their the way they say their words is much plainer than what we do here, most of us anyway. But good. Let me see. I think I talked it off. I don't know how much time I got it set on there, but I talked it out of there. So I turn it back to you, Justin. Good to talk to you. Alabama 672.
All right, Gerlin. Well, yes, Elkhart, Indiana is 45 minutes to an hour away from Fort Wayne. It's kind of northwest of Fort Wayne, and yeah, not too terribly far away. And the St. Joe River goes into Fort Wayne, so I know where that river's at. I believe that river originates in Michigan, but it travels through Indiana, through several counties of Indiana, and I've never fished it. I've never been much in the way of a fisherman, but I would imagine there would be some pretty good fishing in that river and in most of those rivers in southern Michigan and northern Indiana. There's a lot of small lakes in that part of the state too that have some fantastic fishing in them. I hear stories of great big fish that come out of those lakes all the time. But yeah, so yeah, northern Indiana, that's where we're from, and those are my old stomping grounds. And yeah, all kinds of stories. Some of them are even true from that part of the world, from my history. And glad to know that you know a part of it. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and move on. I have Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock. Gary, are you still hanging in with us tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Justin. Everybody on that. Yeah, I'm still hanging in here. Just having a good evening and had a pretty good week. Glad y'all got home safely, and that's about all I got to say.
All right, Gary. Well, welcome to 2020. Glad to have you. Glad to have you here on the air with us tonight, and want to say thanks for looking after the property while we were away and taking care of the chickens. And thank you a lot for just being the good neighbor that you are and hanging in there with us. Looking forward to a whole new year of having you as my backyard neighbor and the adventures and good times that are to come. So thank you for that, Gary, and I'll go ahead and let you cut loose here, and we'll move on next to Atlanta 403, Bob in White County. Bobby, thank you for the welcome home. You were the first to make mention of it.
Check if allowed. Thank you, sir. Go ahead with that lead check. Go ahead with that lead. A thousand apologies. I work in a nice safety arena. I try to get here at the beginning of the night. Inevitably, I'm either here late or I miss it altogether just because of calls, and the weather's terrible. And very, very, very bad, very dangerous out there. So just got in from a call, check in, and I apologize for delaying that and being late, but thank you for having me. I'm still at GMRS, and I know ham radio you can late check. I had worked for not, I'm sorry. If I do make any incorrect, any incorrect things as far as options and how things go. But my call sign is WQYV 343. Now that's whiskey. Sorry. Whiskey. Victor. Sorry, I got toned down, so I couldn't hear. Whiskey, Quebec, Yankee, Victor, QYV 343. Name is Todd. Tango Oscar Delta Delta. Tango Oscar Delta Delta. Tactical call is at 40 Atlanta 47 on the sassafras machine, Gainesville, Georgia. That's Connect Control. Much appreciated, and apologies to everyone. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, Todd. I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge, and let me shut this other radio off here so we don't have any issues. I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge your check-in, Atlanta 47 Todd, on the Sassafras repeater. Thank you for checking in with us tonight. And yeah, I guess probably you maybe missed our check-ins earlier, and we always welcome late check-ins, so that's not a problem at all. Glad to have you in here. And yeah, as far as doing anything right or wrong, we're pretty easy around here. So we'll come back to Bob here in just a minute, and but before we do that, just want to say thanks for checking in. And Todd, what kind of brought you into 2020? Did you have a good New Year? Did you have a big celebration? Tell us a little bit about what you did for 2020 and what you're looking forward to.
Control, are you referring to me or the line to talk? Atlanta 47.
Atlanta 47, that is correct.
Which one, sir? Did you want me to talk, or are you waiting for the next station? I apologize. Trouble copying. I'm in a metal fire station.
Okay. Yes, Atlanta 47, we were addressing you, and we'd like for you to comment. Tell us about your new year.
Okay, sir. Roger that. I apologize. I heard another station in there, and I didn't want to step on toes. And I'm in a building, so have to get out here. Anyway, sassafras is but I can pick it up only about four where I'm at, and I can hit status very well, but I do not LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, yeah, Major Todd, Delta. I do love to get into GMRS whenever I can. Whenever Peters, Zello a whole lot, although you ought to, because that would be enough to get in to GMRS. I'm on ham radio a lot. DMR, digital mode, DMR P20. On ham radio, live in Gainesville, and I absolutely love it. The system is amazing. As you well know, linking, and not just the linking, but the people. Everyone has been so kind and welcoming, and I'm very happy that I joined, and people have been very kind to me. I know Gary did an outstanding job with all they have to keep up with all the repeaters. So certainly, I'm very pleased to be here. I want to start off by that. I would like to say I wish I knew there was a homeowner association before I moved into this, where I would actually have an antenna that could talk to you gentlemen. Well, not at the moment, but when I'm at home, I can't even get into it except for Zello generally. Now, as far as the year, I work in administration. I'm an administrator for a relatively large, 400 members or so. Fire, EMS, rescue, hazmat, kind of hazard service. We do EMA and stuff. And so today's been busy. The weather, a lot of gray. We have help with wonderful partners, DNR, GSP, and Gainesville Police and Hall County Sheriff. We work very well together. And Gainesville, we help each other out a lot. Very good communal atmosphere. Opinion. Some would argue with that. But I think that they placing toxic atmospheres. I believe I'm not in one. It's struggling. It's difficult to go through a hard time, but there's good people, and that's the thing here. And people still care about taking care of folks. And that's why we all got in it anyway. Otherwise, we could be digging ditches. My main job was anesthesia. Actually, I was a physician before, and then went into anesthesiology. I made a ton more money than I make now. Anesthesia was 6 figures, and now is about $22,000 a year. So that's a very poor choice. However, my always been in serving the public, community, serving the state. I don't care who you are or what society has deemed you to be or think of you. I treat you like a person, and I love taking care of people, especially the downtrodden and the people that have been told they have no hope. So I love being out into the environment. So I left the hospital and all the money to make no money and feel like I was actually helping the world out more. So I think 2020 is going to be the best year ever. I'm feeling very happy. The way radio is going, got a good department I'm with, and if I need to, I can always go back into doing the higher paying jobs if I need to. But in the meantime, I'm just so happy where I'm at, making a difference. It's always been a very welcoming dream of mine. So I'll kick it back to Net Control. I didn't talk too long. I'm sure I did, but again, I'm learning the normal for GMRS. So let me know. I'll work on that. So I just got to learn the courtesies and customs of your. So. And I'll kick it back to Net Control. Thank you very much for having me. This is Atlanta on SAS Preston. And back to Net Control. I have a great new year, and I hope everyone that can hear me is listening, no matter what struggles you're going through. We all go through them together in life. We're all in different ways connected.
All right. Okay.
Care about you that you've never met. So, I mean, everyone hang in there, and we'll make
Todd.
it through another year, and
Todd.
hopefully make it even better.
Enough.
That's why I exist, and that's why outside. I hope everyone has a year as possible, despite all the things we face. 747 WQIV, back to Net Control, and thank you so much for letting me, sir. You're at.
All right. Well, thank you for all of that, Todd. Glad to hear from you, and glad to hear of your heart for service. That's good stuff. Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move back on to Atlanta 403, Bob in White County. Bob, this will hopefully you can get in this time and tell us about your new year. It's been a while since I've talked to you, so what have you got going on?
Well, first I say, hey, to hear a new voice here on the Sassy Repeater, and if that was a test for, the Sassy Link, he was it right there. His radio is killing me from Gainesville. It's killing me up here in White County. So, Sassy, the traffic is outstanding right now, because whatever Atlanta 47, whatever radio and you got, it's your thing. It's great. Just turn off your time. But anyway, it was quiet for me, and just hang. I didn't even make it to the ball drop. Usually, first time in 50-something years. But that's just the way. When you get here, it's hard to keep them eyeballs open, ladies. But it's good to hear you back, and good to hear some good net activity tonight. And I hope Gary's thinking problems are. I know he's working hard on this system, so I was happy up last week, so right before the net. So, but it's got there, and good you guys made a safe trip down. So that's not all I got to. I just got a lot of raindrops, and welcome to Atlanta.
All right. Well, thank you for the welcome home, Bob. And Gary has been working hard on making improvements to the system and to the repeater network, and he's continuing that work in the background. Never mind the man behind the curtain. Just don't pay any attention to that, and we'll continue on. So thank you, Bob, for all of that, and look forward to hearing more from you as we go. Next on my list is McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge. Tim was going to be in and out. He said he was going to try to listen as much as he could, but he's a busy guy, as he often is during our nets. So we'll just go ahead and break for a moment to see if Tim is available, but we're expecting that he's not. Tim, are you able to jump on the air for just a minute? Okay, hearing nothing from Tim, assuming that he is indeed busy as he suggested he would be, that brings me to the end of my check-in list. I know that if you're playing along on TV, you can see there are a couple of names thereafter, but we've already spoken with them, so technically Tim is the end of our list. So if we have any late check-ins, now would be the time, or any comments or questions, please call Net Control now. The floor is open.
This is Atlanta 275 WREB 972 Kenny Canton.
275 Ken in Canton.
This is Atlanta 104 WQVP 609, Mike in Ackworth, checking in and out.
Mike Ackworth, in and out.
Atlanta 32, checking in and out from ball ground.
Okay, Net Control will acknowledge Atlanta 275, Ken in Canton. Thank you, Ken, for checking in with us tonight. Looking forward to hearing your comments here in just a moment. We also have Atlanta 104, Mike in Ackworth. Thank you, Mike, for checking in and out with us tonight. Glad to hear from you and hope all is well, and hope that you have a good 2020. Next on the list, I have Atlanta 32 checking in from Ball Ground. Let's see, who is Atlanta 32? I didn't catch the name. And where'd my mouse go? There it is. So Atlanta 32 is Chris. Thank you, Chris, for checking in with us tonight. I've got you in the log as in and out. So again, hope that you have a good 2020, and we look forward to talking to you as soon as you're available. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move back up my list to Atlanta 275 Ken in Canton. And tell me, Ken, how is your year progressing so far?
Year's been great so far. We did a little camping, brought in the New Year camping, went out and saw my brother out in Carroll County. And beautiful weather until the last day when we broke camp and I had to come home in the rain, which was today. So like you, I traveled today as well. But have a great New Year, and I wish everybody else to have a safe, happy, and prosperous 2020. Back to you, Net Control.
Outstanding. And yes, I have to point out the advantage of departing at 3:30 a.m. is that we were able to travel most of the way without any rain. The rain started for us at around 11 a.m. in the just north of Knoxville. I guess that might have been closer to 10:30 or so. But we made most of our trip on dry pavement, and that was very nice. One of the benefits of leaving early, you have very light traffic for the first half of the trip, and we were able to make it through Cincinnati before most of those folks even woke up. And I like it, sneaking through town before the mad dash begins. But yeah, I suppose breaking camp in the rain would be no fun at all. But hopefully you had a good time and it was all worthwhile. All right, Ken. Well, thanks for checking in with us, and we look forward to hearing more from you as we go on. But at this time, I'm going to call one more time for any late check-ins or any questions or comments. Please call Net Control. The floor is open.
For Net Control.
Go ahead with the comment.
Yes, Mr. Justin, please.
All I heard was Mr. Justin, please. So was there more to it than that? Come back with that comment, please.
Out of the net, please.
Check you out of the net. Okay, Donald. I've got you logged out of the net. Do we have any other late check-ins or any other comments for Net Control? We'll go ahead and break this thing up here real soon so folks can get checked out. Last call for late check-ins or comments.
Atlanta 26.
Atlanta 26. Who is Atlanta 26? Flip. Atlanta 26, Flip. How you doing this evening?
6 trying to check in.
Okay, Atlanta 26. I heard a good, strong Atlanta 26, but I haven't heard anything else. Now, I have heard a number of times through the evening somebody trying to break through and connect to the repeater, but mostly all I'm getting is noise. So I'm going to ask you to try one more time. This time, speak real loud into the microphone and maximize your modulation, and hopefully we can get you in here. I've got you in the log, but I'd love to hear a conversation from you.
New Year. I hope you can, but if you can't, one of these days we'll get this straightened out.
Okay, Flip, I copied Happy New Year, and hopefully one of these days we'll get this straightened out. So, yes, you're getting in there. I'm just not getting a real good strong copy on you. So, the extra modulation seems to have helped, if that helps you any in sorting out what kind of issues that you might have. So, with that, Happy New Year to you, and we look forward to hearing you on the air. Thanks for checking in with us, Flip, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and call out one last time for any late check-ins. And I strongly dislike caps lock. And I fat finger that stupid button all the darn time.
Atlanta 131, WAS 50, Morgan up here in Cleveland, wanting to make a late check-in.
Okay, Net Control acknowledges Atlanta 131. Morgan up in Cleveland. Glad to have you in here, Morgan. What do you have going on? And how is that new repeater standing up?
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, we've been doing good. Actually working on a Kenwood TK880H right now. It's giving volume button fits. The repeater up been doing great. Haven't had any issues whatsoever out of it. And, thanks to Mr. Gary's help, various other people, all came together.
Well, that's great to hear, and I understand you've had some exceptional signal reports from that repeater, so that's very cool. Glad to know that you're able to get that thing up there and working, and get that great coverage that it's offering. That's cool stuff. And yeah, the 880H, the volume button. I haven't gotten into any of my 880s to mess with that, but I expect probably the time will come. I'm gonna have to take the front off and see if I can figure out how to clean that stuff up and make them behave again. I know that Gary knows all the ins and outs, so probably I'll just lean on him whenever the time comes. But that's good stuff. It's always cool to be able to take care of your own equipment and keep it operational. And when you start with good equipment, you don't have to maintain it that much. So that's good stuff. All right, Morgan, got you in here, and I'm going to see if we have any other late check-ins. One last call for late check-ins, then we're going to wrap this thing up. All right. Okay, so this evening we had a total of 18 check-ins, including myself. Let's see. This concludes the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Everyone that signed in should sign out. We're going to return the repeaters back to normal use. Thank you for allowing me to be your net controller tonight. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514, clear. All right, so let me hit this button over here. Okay, so there's Bobby checking out. And there was somebody behind him. I'm not sure who it was. That's the way it goes.
WRAS 502, clear.
Okay, I think that was Morgan out. And
Hey, WA 343, Atlanta 47, Gainesville, clear.
We're going to make Atlanta 47 our next net controller.
Atlanta 275 WREB 972. Clear.
Okay, there's Ken clear. I'm going to show Lester in and out so that he's done. I'm going to knock Gary out because he's not going to check out. And that just leaves Andrew in Houston, and I'm sure they'll come around.
Atlanta
There he is.
780 WQUV 439. Clear the net. Good evening, gentlemen.
And Andrew will likely chime in here at some point to clear. He often does once he hears everything is quiet. So with that, let me do this real quick. There's our final tally of our log this evening, and back to this ugly shot. And let's see, what's my next move? What is he gonna do now? There it is. Okay, so YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun, and really enjoy this. Hope that the handful of you that do see this are able to get something out of it. You can see some of the struggles that we go through with the breaking and the audio issues with the sassafras repeater. At one point, with Atlanta 47, I was able to turn on a different radio in here.
Atlanta 780 from Alabama 672. You still there, Houston?
Able to turn on a different radio and monitor on that radio so I could get a better picture of what he was saying because there's so much audio there, and he was just going on.
Yes, sir. Atlanta 780 WQUV 439.
So that was challenging.
Mr. Gerlin, how you doing?
Let's see if I can pull those guys out. Yeah. All right. So that's the deal. We do the best we can with what we have, and when we get to the place we don't know what we're doing, we're just faking it. And the better you can fake it, the better you can do this gig. So who wants to sign up? Hey guys, YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us, and I'm going to go ahead and clear WQIR 514 Atlanta 946. See you later.